5.
Because you do this for so long, you do it, what drives you is because you love doing it. And I can tell you love it, right? That's sort of like mentality that you have of dream scenario of like getting a deal and doing that, all that stuff may have been true, 10, 15 years ago, but nowadays, in my opinion, I feel like it's an incredible time to be a rapper, regardless of if you make this kind of shit or trap shit or whatever it is. I think now the game, going into 2019, is fuck everyone else, fuck getting a deal. Let me push all my shit on social media, do exactly what Dow Jones was talking about, like hacking into all these different social media systems, like replying to comments on Instagram. You're gonna really start to see the magic of how powerful that is. Cause you said earlier, like there's a resurgence or like there's a void to fill. I disagree. There's a lot of everything. There's too much of everything. Gotta keep going when you start something. That's it. Yeah. I mean, hacking into YouTube and Instagram for less than 12 months is just not enough time.
Yeah.
Sure. So you gotta allow for yourself to do it. Be patient. Sounds like patience is like a big factor too. Maybe you're getting ahead of yourself, like fuck, like I need to be put on now, which is normal. But I think you need to just start executing every day. Don't overthink the shit. Like it's not, believe it or not, guys, like this shit is not rocket science. Make music, you figure out that you love making beats, so you make beats. And then you meet people that also like your beats, so you work with them. And what drives you to keep going is the love and passion for doing it. And you can do this for 5 years for free and you'd still be happy. But if you go hard, eventually you're gonna start getting paid and opportunities will come. But how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 25. Dude, you're a baby, 25, like you have so much time. So yeah. Chill out, don't worry about shit, don't get ahead of yourself, don't worry about what other people are doing. Take your time, make beats.
Like I know there's a million people making music, but I feel like there's not as much, maybe that lane ain't where it's at, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you one example. Apollo Brown. Yeah. You know who that is?
I know, I just listened to Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Did you hear the podcast episode when he was on my podcast? Yeah. Dude's coming home with 100 racks. 30 days of tours in Germany playing boom bap, playing gangstar shit, So don't worry about fitting in. Do you. There's 7 billion people on Earth. There's gonna be people out there. And there's a statistic that says, if you have 1,000 fans, you can generate $1 million a year with 1,000 dedicated fans, if you play your cards right. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about the lane. Do what you love. You're gonna attract people that fuck with you. You're gonna attract people that love what you love. Those are the people you need to focus on.
Thing like with you going from like producing like X on the Black Panther soundtrack, Moana, like how the fuck did that come about?
I'll give you the short version. 2012, homie Static Selector is working on an album with this artist named Jared Evan. Singer. Static calls me to come in and help them mix it. So I found Bipolar Don and who used to work with Hit Boy and Chase and them. So Jared Evans, Static Selector, they decided to do an album 2012. Static calls me and says, hey, Ill, can you help us mix the album? So I go in and I help him mix the vocals. And in comes Joel Ortiz. And I'm leaving. And I hadn't met Joel before. So Joel Ortiz steps in. I'm like, fuck, I fuck with Joel. I never met him before. So Static introduces us. And I'm like, yo, Joel, I got some shit for you, bro. Like, I'm gonna play you some shit. So I played him some beats, loved them. We exchanged phone numbers, that was that. And then we eventually linked up and started to get to know each other. We started to work, all that stuff. That was 2012. 2013, I got to work on the Slaughterhouse album with Just and Cardiac and Justice League and all those guys. Yeah, so that was another opportunity for me to like really build a relationship with those guys. And me and Joel at that point had known each other for a couple years. 2015, early 2015, I get a random phone call from Joel. And he's like, yo, Ill, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I'm in the studio as usual. He's like, yo man, I'm gonna pull up, let's get some food, or let's chill. I'm like, yeah, of course, bet, like open door policy. So he comes through, we get some grub, right? So we get back to the studio and I'm just like making a beat. He starts rapping, he gets in the booth, records it, we start bugging out, and then he's like, yo, what are you doing next week? I'm like, yo, I'll be here. So he pulls up next week, we do another song, blah, blah, blah. Eventually we make an album called Human. So then that album comes out, you know, some underground shit, fun shit. April 2015, I see that this guy, Lin-Manuel Miranda, started following me on Twitter. So Lin-Manuel is the founder, he started Hamilton on Broadway, right? And before that, it was In the Heights. I DM him since he started following me, and I was like, yo, Lin, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Like, yo, you're the shit, man. Like, I fuck with you. I fuck with your stuff. I love Hamilton. And he hit me back and he was like, yo, Ill, man, appreciate that. He's like, yo, that Human album is amazing, man. Like, Joel Ortiz is my favorite rapper of all time. And so I'm like, yo, yeah, he's crazy, blah, blah, blah. So then he's like, yo, I'd love to, you know, do something with you at some point. Later on in that summer, I get an email from this guy, Riggs Morales at Atlantic Records. And he's like, hey, we're working on this Hamilton remix project thing where we're taking some of the Hamilton songs and we're remixing them and putting new artists. And he's like, I'd love to get you involved. And I was like, of course. Riggs didn't know that I knew Lin or that we spoke. So then Lin was like, I want Illmind to do like fucking this song, this song, this song. So I ended up producing 4 records on that album. Fast forward to December of that same year, after Hamilton mixtape came out, he had called me out of the blue and he was like, hey, Ill, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in the studio. And he's like, I'm working on this project with Disney and I'm wondering if you can help me produce this song. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Guys basically talking about what the song is. And he's like, we have the song, we're putting the rock on it, and Lin, I want you and Lin to like write it and produce it. But if I had never went to Static's crib in 2012, then I wouldn't have gotten a Disney placement. It's because I knew Jared, and I would have never met Jared if he had never interned at the Fader magazine in 2008, before he got the Interscope deal that Chase was talking about. Wondering like, damn, we ain't eat, it's 11:30. I know I'm keeping you guys here late, but after they go, we're gonna take a little 20-minute break. You guys are gonna eat and we're gonna go another round. What are you trying to do, man?
In life or this track?
In life. I hate using this word, but that was a vibe. That was a vibe. I love the simplicity of it, but it's still like, has energy to it and it's very still percussive. So I like that. How long you been doing your thing? How long you been making music?
Like 3 years.
3 years. Do you record at home or you have a studio?
I do everything. Like sometimes we do at home, sometimes we just like go out.
The good thing is that you know what you want, right? You know that you want your music out there, you're producing, you're rapping, you're singing, you want to get the shit popping, all that stuff. And most people do, right? The thing you have to really just start being mindful of is all of those logistical steps you have to take to get to that point. I think you're doing the right thing, like work on your craft, just keep getting better, spend time getting better, and then from there, start collaborating with people, expand your network, and then just kind of, like I said earlier, just like let the universe do what it's gonna do. But the most important thing is to be patient, never quit, believe in yourself, and just have fun. I could tell you're having fun. You know what I mean? Like, you love this shit, so.